Welcome to the You Were Designed for Greatness podcast. Each week we will bring you inspiring tips, stories, and ideas to help you be all that you can be, discovering your greatness. Featuring Donna Tashton. Donna is a transformational life and health coach, a highly sought-after public speaker, and the founder of Vibrant Living. She has helped hundreds find a better life, free of stress and living the greatness they were truly designed for. And now, your host, Donna Tashton.
Hello, this is Donna Tashton, and I would like to welcome you to podcast number 26. I have a special guest with me today. I am so happy that I have met Floriza, and I wanted to have her share her story with all of you who are listening. Floriza, say hi.
Well, hi, Donna. Thank you so much for the invite. So excited to be part of your podcast, and thank you so much. Again, this is Floriza, President and CEO of Management Business Solutions.
So tell us about you.
Well, I'm an immigrant. I, came to Michigan by way of California, and I actually migrated to the U.S. just right after college. Worked my career throughout the years in California, primarily in staffing side. Started as a temporary, but my first job was actually mopping floors at KFC and worked my way up in the staffing world. So I've had experience in doing staffing and recruitment since 1990, and I moved to Michigan by way of my husband. When my daughter was 2 months old, she was actually born in Oregon, and my husband, who was born and raised here, showed us a wonderful life and family values in here. So just fell in love here, and we've been here since then.
Awesome. So when you came to America, did you speak English?
Well, Tagalog, which is my native tongue, is my first language. English is a form of instruction that they use in the Philippines, so I do know English, but, it took a while to actually go through and, work through my diction, my language. It's a lot of training that I had to do by myself in terms of just understanding how to, communicate properly. Even the slang is a little hard because never have words like, I need a couple minutes or a couple of this, because I'm like, what does that mean? It could be, should be two, but,
Yes.
It was one of those things in terms of what the slang that is normal for me that I now understand. First time coming here, you have to transition and just pretty much speak straight English. And growing up, we have English, but pretty much we did what we call this Taglish, which is a Tagalog English form of communication. So it was a hard transition, but I guess by now it's second language now.
Now it's second nature.
Yeah.
Now it's second nature. And when you first came, you had a college degree, I believe?
Yes.
And your first job was mopping floors?
Yeah. Yeah, well, actually, the only reason I got that job at KFC is I actually took out my degree because nobody would hire me for any jobs I applied. I had this job in math, my degree is in math computer application. I was in Silicon Valley in California. I was in the perfect location with a perfect degree, except that nobody would hire me. They're always asking about this experience, or either that or I'm overqualified. So the way I was able to get a job, because nobody would hire me, was actually mopping floors at KFC and just kind of moved my way up by way of doing a lot of temporary jobs. And that's really how I got exposed to staffing.
Yeah, that shows so much tenacity and hard work and understanding that things aren't just handed to us just because of a degree or just because of whatever, and that we have to do whatever it takes to be able to succeed and to eat every day.
True. No, it's very true. I mean, we experience that day to day here at work. We see a lot of new grads or individuals that's looking for a job, and all walks of life in terms of differing, experiences, and it's hard, but obviously the economy's changed a little bit right now. It is the candidates market.
Yeah, it has improved, that's for sure. So how did you end up opening your own business?
Well, that's actually one of those things that I've never thought I was going to do. My mom's always owned her own business, and it was one footstep I never ever wanted to follow, except that, with situational changes, and I was actually working with a firm that for the first time in my life I was let go. And then, a few months later, they sued me for violation of non-compete. And the firm I was with decided that, hey, let us know when you're done with that, so retain your own attorney. So I ended up saying, you know what, this is not going to work for me. I'm going to go ahead, retain my own attorney. I ended up winning that suit. One of the outcomes was I could open up my own business. So really, there's always cultural values, and corporate cultures is so important to me, and being able to, really do this that, would really help benefit both the client and the candidate, not doing it just to do the sale, but really doing to see what you can do to help the livelihood of individuals. So it's what we do changes individuals' life, and it affects families, and it affects an individual walking through life, because it's your career choice and it's livelihood.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I love that philosophy. It makes me think when you talk about losing your job, because I can relate, and I shared that story with you previously.
Yeah.
But it's how when something that actually seems like it's the worst day of our life, almost, one of those moments where it feels like the worst day of our life, and it ends up being something that catalyst into how many lives are you impacting for good and helping their career and caring instead of the bottom dollar kind of thing. And I love that, where stories show that the bad day of our life can actually be the launching pad of something that ended up being not easy, but really good. Can you relate to that?
No, it's definitely, it is certainly not easy in terms of, opening up your business, and, the failure rate, and what do I need to do, and the financial security or the risk that you have to take to doing so. I'm fortunate that my husband was there to support me to be able to say, go after this. But it wasn't easy. I've moved markets before. I moved from Silicon Valley to Portland, Oregon to Michigan, and every opportunities I jumped in with new markets, with zero network, or just starting out from a new market. I've always been able to do it in about 2 to 3 months. But it's so different once you're opening up your own business. It's years after years. And, it took me 5 years to have that, a semblance of stability here, but also to think about it. I opened business in 2006, and our recession hit, and so 2008 was really bad. It's one of those things that I had to reevaluate if I'm really going to go ahead and stay on and continue to do what I'm doing, because nobody's hiring; they're all laying off individuals. Right. So I actually, had to survive the recession and try to figure out what's happening. I was paying staff. My front desk person, my receptionist, got paid more than I have, and because I wasn't paying myself, I was reinvesting to the company. So I really took that time to really evaluate what's important to me. What was important was to actually take on individuals at that point to be able to train them. When the market changes, I will have individual ready to go to help our clients. And proved to be true. We just celebrated 13 years, and we're very excited about that.
And you were recently nominated, too, for a pretty prestigious award with the Women Who Mean Business in the Grand Rapids Business Journal as well.
Yes, quite honored about that. And very honored and thankful. Have a wonderful team in here. I don't think I could do anything that I do, both at work and in the community, because service in the community is so important to us. Without the wonderful team I have, right behind me, my co-owner, Amy Marshall, has been so instrumental in making sure she leads the process here in our office, and side by side, we've been, working to build this business to continue to grow.
Awesome. That is so wonderful. I love stories like that. Do you have a favorite book?
Not quite a favorite book. I read so many contracts. That's been part of my my time that sometimes it just doesn't, have me have the opportunity to do that. But I always love the book, Who Moves Your Cheese. It's a very easy book, and it's always relatable to everybody in terms of pursuing your careers and being able to, or your goals, and being able to take a look at that. That's always, I know it's been been around for a long time.
That's a great book.
Relate to that.
That's a great book. Of the people who's encouraged us, there's always people. Is there someone that's been an encouragement to your life?
Oh, definitely a lot in terms of my career from, one stage to the other. And I think it's always there. My biggest inspiration is my mom. I have, like I said, I think in our discussions, I never thought I would like to own a business. And my mom is a serial entrepreneur, and she's always getting into new business, goals. She's ran multiple businesses at the same time. She's a real estate broker with a financial background. She runs a bookkeeping company on top of that, and then she's doing something else. And I'm going like, how do you do that, Mom? And she is amazing. I always said to everybody, if I had like an ounce of what she has, I would be successful. I guess I'm like, I can't quite do it the way she did it, but I think maybe I have the ounce right now that I was able to take the rest to open up my business. And
Is she in the Philippines? Is she in the Philippines or America?
America. She actually started. She's owned business when she was in the Philippines, and then she migrated to the U.S. And then years later, how immigration is a little tough. She's petitioned everybody, and we're here now with her. But she's owned businesses in here. I kept on telling her she needs to relax, but she still has a small client now, even though she's technically retired. She's doing tax returns and corporate returns and things like that. And I said, Mom, stop it! You're making me look bad. But no, she's awesome. She's such an inspiration.
I'm glad that's an inspiration. What's the best piece of advice she ever gave you?
Well, the one thing is that, having, in my formative years in terms of how we always were brought up, my mom was, throughout college, she left when we were younger. Obviously, we communicated via phone, but, she's always a big proponent about education. And that's the one thing that she and my dad has always prided themselves, is being able to give us the best education and the best schools, and really something that she embraces is being able to do that. And she's also the big, you're my biggest cheerleader and my biggest advisor for anything that I have to do with my business. From when I started the business, I was like, Mom, how do I structure? I'm like, Mom, I'm going to go ahead and do a sole proprietor. I'm moving to a corporation. What do I need to do? She's seen me when I started from day one and has been so encouraging, and she's always advised to pursue it. She's
Awesome.
The one who always pushes to have a business and grow with a business. And I just didn't quite have that whole knack in me about being able to do real estate, bookkeeping, and taxes. And so she did it. I can't. So
that is amazing. I love amazing women who accomplish a lot, and so it's so great. So of a woman out there that is facing one of those bad days,
Mm-hmm.
What advice, what suggestions, what encouragement would you have for her?
It's always going to be there. Hold your head up, and it's okay to fail. And then it's really, whenever we fail and whenever we have that bad day, it's part of that flip side. There is going to be a good day, and there's going to be success. So, there's an opposite to everything that is happening to us. For every a lot of good things that we have to overcome the bad things, and those bad things would not happen again, because if you learn from your mistakes, if you learn what you had to go through that, and you push through it, and you don't let it get you down, it actually it's not as bad as it is. Obviously, yes, it's terrible to go through that process, but we can't just have all ups, because what comes up must come down. So there's always a opposite and equal reaction.
Yes.
That was the math and science in me.
And it makes us stronger. It really does.
Yes.
It does.
It does.
Well, I want to thank you for sharing your story with us. And if people want to get in touch with you and learn more about your company, how would they do that?
Oh, I'm so welcome to being here. Thank you so much again for the invite. To get a hold of us, we have a website, and it's Management Business Solutions. Our URL is MGMT for management, B for business, and then solutions with an S.com. You can always reach us here. We're very involved in the community, so you could see us in a lot of different boards and areas in there, but you could always see us there on our website. Reach out to us. We have a Facebook page. Connect with us in LinkedIn, and it's MGMTB Solutions.
All right. Well, thank you again for being here today, and I will see you guys all next episode. Until then, this is Donna saying live and love vibrantly.
We are excited to announce Vibrant Living International Women's Conference. We have a lineup of 5 powerful speakers, and on October 12th, the fun begins in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Early bird tickets are available for a limited time, so visit www.iVibrantLiving.com and click on the Women's Conference tab to get the scoop. You don't want to miss this inspirational event. Reserve your seat today.